God's Meltdown, and I'm joined by.
And here is Snow Shaw from Gothenburg, Sweden. Yep.
It's awesomely chatting to you this evening. You're such a legend. But what have you been doing recently? When can we expect a new Snowy Shore album or anything?
Actually, it's kind of hard to answer because it was supposed to be, you probably know already that I put out like one song per month during last year digitally. And then it should all be wrapped up in time for Christmas, physically, on LP and CD. But the CD was okay. But due to the fucking pandemic and COVID bullshit and all that, everything is delayed all over the planet with the vinyl, the printing plants and all that. So I just mailed them now, actually. I was supposed to pick it up. I had like a solemn promise that I should pick it up like on the 6th of May. And then it's like 6 months delay, And but I didn't get it. That was the last Friday. so I mean, it's a disaster. Yeah. So, but it's sort of interrupted or disrupted the whole launching, the whole promotion campaigns and all that. But I guess what can you do? I mean, in these strange times, you just have to adapt and try to do the best of the situation, right? So that I have now, like it's coming out like in, I don't know, 2 weeks. I don't know.
Wow. That's brilliant. So when it does eventually hit the stores and everything, are you hoping to get out and do some live shows around and about before we get another pandemic or fucking Russia invades Sweden?
Is this a film? No, I gotta tell you that I was planning to do. It was already booked for Europe, and then it's going to continue in America in 2020 when I released the book. I released it in 2020 and in July, but then I was going to start doing that like for the festival season to do a very unique book signing event tour, playing all kinds of festivals and doing clubs and all that. So it would be a meet and greet, Q&A, shaking hands, hugging people, asking questions. I sign the stuff and I play a couple of songs, sort of semi-acoustically, but that got all like postponed and canceled and so forth, and then it was time to pick that up, I suppose, but the whole entire world has changed as of lately, so I haven't really picked that up. I actually turned down to play Prog Power Atlanta. They wanted me to come there and play in June, but since I'm not going to do it a one-off thing, I mean, it's supposed to be a tour, so I don't want to organize all that stuff just to do one show, since it wasn't going to be any more in America, for example. But apart from that, I don't think there's a screaming desire for people to see Snow Shaw live now. I mean, people want to see Iron Maiden and Metallica and Rammstein and all that. So I'm just gonna sit quietly, take it easy, and ride out the storm.
Yeah, man. Well, that's funny.
Next year, because I mean, it's going to be this bottleneck effect. That everybody's competing about the same audience, and since everybody's been sitting home, being forced to sit home now for 2 years, and it's not like they saved up so much money that they can go to 5 shows a week, right? So I mean, the whole conditions has changed quite drastically, and but so I'm just gonna sit tight and write new music, do all kinds of other stuff. I can't talk about that right now, but I'm going out on a big European tour in a different kind of situation where I'm representing a company and so forth, with a massively big band. So I mean, I'm open for all kinds of options, really. I mean, trying out new things. I've been doing this for such a long time and all that. So it's not like I'm just going to keep doing the same routine and blah, blah, blah. And that's also why I've been with so many bands, and I also quit them all on my own accord, and because I want to push things forward and challenge myself, take on new things that I find kind of exciting and stimulating, and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and the Scorpions and that are still going out on tours, headlining big arenas and everything, festivals as well, obviously. What do you feel the rock and metal landscape is looking like now in 2020? And are you glad you started back in the 80s?
Yeah, I since I'm running my own operation, I'm running my own record company and web shop and the whole thing basically, so I have to have close contact with what's going on, like daily updates, and I'm kind of analyzing the business and seeing it from a business perspective and all that. So I got to say that I had a fairly bleak outlook on the whole thing. I think everything is pretty much based on nostalgia and group affiliation and so forth. So people are dying to go to festivals and hang out with their, old friends and pretend like we're 25 still, whatever, So, and it's a little bit tragicomic, I gotta say, in a way or something. I mean, the last song I put out of those 12 was a song called "The End of an Era." Yeah. Which pretty much speaks for itself. And Ken Hensley was supposed to play on that, but he died. And we and if you see the video, it's a lyric video, and it's just everything from Mark Bolan to Chuck Schuldiner and all those people who have passed away. Yeah. I mean, we're getting up there in age. We're obviously not getting any younger. So the whole movement has become, even though you get like new subgenres and so forth.
Yeah.
It's been going on for quite some time. I mean, a lot of my friends and so on, they still consider themselves being like something of rebels, like even though it's like a youth revolt against your parents or whatever. And now we are like 50 plus, and it's getting a little bit pathetic. It is. We're all getting up there in age, and my former boss, King Diamond, I think he's 66 now. So officially he should be retired, right? If you retire at 65. So, but he's still going strong, being out there with Merciful Fate and all. So that's the way it is. As long as you can still do your job and do yourself justice and do your material justice, and if you can deliver the goods, I mean, I don't see any reason why anyone should retire. But what I find a little bit funny is that, wow, we're rebels, and you say Satan or whatever. It's like, is that supposed to upset anyone? I mean, so compare that to the kind of gangster rap. That's the real deal. I mean, not that I'm listening to that kind of music, but when people actually, murder each other, shoot, killing people and shit like that. So it's a bit different.
Totally, man. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to drag you back to your youth or younger days. What would you say was and has been the most outrageous thing you've ever done in the name of rock and roll?
I got to say, read all about it in the book of heavy metal, my autobiography. I mean, it's 444 pages. I mean, I'm going through it all. So I had like a quite crazy journey, constant ups and downs in this rock and roller coaster, as I tend to call it sometimes, or refer to it. And King Diamond, that's pretty much where I made a name for myself internationally and officially, like that, outside of Sweden. And that is I always going to cherish that memory, and I learned so much, so that is always going to be close to my heart. But I also loved being in Therion, being out on the touring the world, be as a singer, for example. I mean, that was a whole new position for me, and I was also hired on the side to do all the stage props and designs and be in charge of the kind of presentation and so forth. So I mean, that is what keeps me going. I mean, I wouldn't sort of place any judgment on people who just stick to one band and they've been doing that now for 50 years or something, and they may not even contribute in the songwriter or anything like that. But if it's fine by them, fine. Yeah, you need those kind of work ants too. But to me, it's all about self improvement and trying to maintain that kind of youthful excitement and moving forward. So I tend to be really excited about a band, let's say for the first first year or two or something like that. Then it starts becoming a bit more routine, maybe, and that is when I start to, it starts to wear off a little bit, and I need to find new challenges and push myself or whatever. But I've appreciated it all. I mean, I wouldn't be here where I am today if it wouldn't be for that. So you learn from your mistakes and all that, and so I'm truly grateful for all of it, really, even the bad choices. Let's say, I mean, Dimmy Borgir. I mean, I told my then ex-wife, my ex-girlfriend, that okay, I'm gonna stay in this band until the day I die, because initially it felt so great. We had the best camaraderie, and it felt to me like being part of a modern day Kiss, like strong image and the spookiness and the music and all that, very theatrical and bombastic and pompous and all that. But 7 months later, I just had to quit. Otherwise, I would have died because my involvement with the band. So and you learn from that, of course. You should have everything in print. What is it if they say, yeah, but you're a session guy? But what does that mean? Let's say in theory, you want to be a permanent member instead of a session guy. What's the difference? There's no difference. You just have to pay for the rehearsal room or share the rent for a rehearsal room and clean that. Okay, I can skip that part. So, but apart from that, I mean, I was doing interviews. I was fronting the band. I was entitled to write songs and have a say in pretty much everything. So I mean, what the average person don't understand really. I mean, if I quit the band or move forward, they think it's like, oh, did you had a allergic reaction towards all the makeup? Give me a fucking break. I mean, the music part is the easiest thing, but then it's like the politics. You gotta get along with these people and the whole organization, or lack thereof. And that is also why I quit Dimmy Borgir, because there was no structure at all. And that compared to Sabaton, for example, which was the most well-structured, the best possible working place you can dream of. Everyone down to the merch girl, to the bus driver, to the whole organization was like wonderful, really. So I mean,
yeah,
it's good with the bad, I suppose.
Yeah, man. Okay, so this is out of the air. Can you name a song that you would use as a soundtrack of your life?
I don't know. I can tell you this much though, that I put in my testament a couple of songs that's going to be played at my funeral, and it's Sweet Freedom with Uriah Heep, for instance, and Gates of Valhalla with Manowar.
Brilliant.
and probably Return to Fantasy too, So yeah, but what's going to encapsulate my life? I don't know. I guess it's Book of Heavy Metal. That is so far the most popular song that I've ever inked, And that is also why I call my book that. I mean, it's for obvious reasons.
So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So again, going back again, if you could jump into a time machine and tour with a band in their prime, who would you choose?
I'm such a nutcase about the 70s. I mean, you tend to kind of glamorize the era before you, that you weren't really present, even though I was born in 68. But I mean, I would love to see bands in their formative years, like Deep Purple and Black Sabbath, Uriah Heep, and Ziggy Stardust era, David Bowie, and the whole glam explosion that happened in England. I really like that stuff, for instance. So I don't know. I mean, that is my biggest wish, actually, to have a time machine. I would go back to 1967 and go to San Francisco and just fuck around, basically. I mean, that hippie era, peace and love and blah, 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 all that. I mean, I kind of like that thing. And then I would spend some time there, and then I'm going to go to London maybe, and swing in 60s maybe, and hang out. Yeah, I mean, that is a dream come true. I mean, the time machine, that is my biggest wish, actually. So I could be a member of Kiss. I would just be a whole lot better than Peter Criss and say, fuck you, take your job. And I could be part of Rainbow Rising with Ronnie and all that. I mean, that's such a stimulating thought of actually, fucking up history.
Yeah. Totally, dude. All right, so I've got 5 questions for you now, either or either. So the first one is festival or small intimate gig?
Can I say neither?
All right.
Yeah, but I'm kind of fed up with shows, I gotta say. I mean, for that reason. But festivals is always fun. It's like, if you work in a factory or something, once a year you have like this party, and that is the equivalent for us musicians. That's where you meet all your buddies, hanging out backstage and so forth. And it's also funnier to play in front of big audiences. So it's one big party, and it's usually in the summertime too. So that's nice.
Vinyl or digital?
I'm a vinyl guy. I mean, that's what I grew up with. But digital, I mean, everything, you cannot stop the progress or development. Everything's going to be digital. It's so much more convenient, and you have access to everything through Spotify in your fucking phone, and so it's very, very convenient. And like I said, you can't stop the future. You can try to be conservative that way, but I like vinyl. I really do. Yeah.
Same, man. My girlfriend's put the washing machine on. I'm not impressed. Fuck. Right, meatballs or beer?
Tricky questions. Can I have both? A little beer and a half of a meatball? Now, but I could. Yeah, I would say beer. Yeah.
Brilliant. Saint or sinner?
Saint. Yeah.
Right. And the final one, Putin or Kermit the Frog?
Aren't they the same?
Absolutely. Yeah, man. All right. So do you have any final words for your fans and our listeners?
What can I say? I would highly advise you or recommend you to pick up a copy of my limited edition exclusive hardback book autobiography, because that is quite a journey. And it's called Book of ML, like I mentioned. And it's getting super good reception from all over, and people say that this should be the benchmark or the template on how to write an autobiography, because I am not fucking sitting there lying. I've been telling it like it is. I mean, we're chasing this kind of glamorized fantasy, but I mean, it's a really, really tough job if you're gonna survive in this business and over the decades and stay relevant somehow. And it's no walk in the park, I can tell you that much. So you got to be very resilient and willing to put up a fight, I gotta say. Hey there, this is Snowy Shaw, and you're listening to Metal God's Meltdown.